Welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. I came across this story a while ago, but I decided I didn't have time really to do any research on it or what have you, so I didn't make a video, but I felt it's the perfect story to use as an example for why we should be careful about the people that we choose to date. 3 people shot and killed in Pittsburgh's Homewood South neighborhood. The deaths of Nandy Fitzgerald, her son Denzel Nolan Jr., and Tatiana Hill are under investigation by Pittsburgh police. 3 people are dead after a shooting in Pittsburgh's Homewood South neighborhood early Friday. It happened in the 7500 block of Hamilton Avenue around 4 a.m. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the 3 people killed in Homewood South on December 31st as Nandy Fitzgerald, 28, Denzel Nolan Jr., 13, and Tatiana Hill, 28. May they rest in peace. A family member of 2 of the victims said that her sister and nephew were among the 3. Wand Fitzgerald identified the mother and son as Nandy Fitzgerald and Denzel Nolan Jr. Police are continuing to investigate. Details of any possible suspects have not been released. Neighbors and community leaders, including Mayor-elect Ed Gainey, met on Hamilton Avenue and Braddock Avenue to show their support for the victims' families. When police arrived to Hamilton Avenue around 4 a.m., they first found a woman who had been shot in the head. Then, while searching the house, SWAT officers found the other 2 victims. Medics pronounced all 3 dead at the scene. Community leaders accepted donations for the family while gathering Friday night. GoFundMe pages have also been set up to raise money for the families of the victims. Now, shortly after this, they actually found who did it, and he was arrested. And I'm going to get to that. On January 10th, local police authorities found out who had murdered these 3 people in Pittsburgh, and here's an update. A man who Pittsburgh police say is responsible for a New Year's Eve triple homicide in Homewood had been in a relationship with one of the victims, and the 2 had a child together, according to a criminal complaint against him. Ronald Steve, 29, is charged with 3 counts of homicide in connection with the deaths of Nandy Fitzgerald, Tatiana Hill, and Fitzgerald's 12-year-old son, Denzel Buddy Nolan Jr. Police said in the criminal complaint against Steve that he and Fitzgerald have a child together, though it does not indicate that child was involved in the incident. Steve is also the father of Ajeen Lane, the East Liberty 4-year-old, who police say shot himself with an unsecured gun in November, police noted. Though Fitzgerald was not involved in that situation, detectives wrote in the complaint that the investigation into Lane's death is ongoing and Steve has not yet been located for interview cooperation. In the New Year's Eve incident, the 3 were found dead in a Hamilton Avenue row house after a 911 caller reported gunfire in a neighboring home just after 4 a.m. Police found Fitzgerald just inside the front door, her son behind a door, and Hill hiding under a bed, according to the complaint. City surveillance cameras captured someone leaving the row house about 3:53 a.m., according to the complaint. The person got into a Nissan Altima with the headlights off, made a 3-point turn, and drove off. Police tracked the vehicle on several streets using the camera system, tracing the license plate back to Steve. Investigators said they found the Nissan in McKeesport later that morning, according to the complaint. Inside were shell casings that matched those found at the Homewood scene and fingerprints that matched Steve's. Cell phone records showed a series of text messages between Steve and Fitzgerald in the hours leading up to the shooting, and police said photos on Fitzgerald's phone showed herself, Hill, and Steve together that night. Text messages from Fitzgerald to Steve said Steve would be going to jail for some expletive you probably thought you was going to get away with, and go get you a lawyer, homie, according to the complaint. An anonymous tip indicated Steve had blood on his shirt after the shooting and that he and a possible accomplice had already fled the state, according to police. Investigators later found and searched the vehicle of the possible accomplice and found a coat with blood on it in the driver's seat, blood on the seat itself, and even more blood on the passenger seat, according to the complaint. Investigators said such patterns would be consistent with Steve getting into the front passenger seat of the car immediately after the shootings. According to the complaint, and also corroborated the anonymous tip police revealed. So, what I want to say is, I know that it's lonely when you're single and you meet people and you grow to like them and you start to see yourselves with them in a relationship and building a life together. But we have to be very, very careful nowadays who we let into our homes, who we let into our families, who we let around our children and our friends. Um, the story is very sad also because a 12-year-old prosperous young man was killed in the midst of this. And he was exposed to this man by his man dating his mother, dating this man. So prior to us making these type of judgments and deciding to be around someone, we have to make sure that they are mentally fit enough to fit in, to be in our world without these type of things happening. Some of them pretend very well in the first stages of dating, and you don't see the illness within them, but you do get clues. Now, this man was accused of allegedly murdering at least 2 people that I know of prior to this, and it's obvious that the young lady that he was dating, she also knew of this because when she wanted to leave him, she threatened him and she said to him that you will be going to jail for some blank you probably thought you was going to get away with. Go get you a lawyer, homie. So that means that she knew that he had done a few things. I don't know if she knew that prior to her dating him, exposing her to her family and friends, or what. And I'm not blaming the victim. I'm just saying we have to use these instances in order to learn from them. You cannot let just anybody into your household, around your children, around your family. You have to be very careful. It's almost to the point where you have to do background checks on these people because we're living in dangerous times. And a lot of these people are not in their right mind. There are several other stories I'm going to discuss on this channel, and it's horrific. And it's through someone dating someone. There were 2 sisters that were killed not too long ago. I can't recall where. I think it was in Florida, but the sister was dating this young man and she wanted to break up with him, and he didn't want to break up with her. And he killed her and her sister. There's stuff like this happening every day. So please, guys, be mindful of people that you're letting into your life. Be mindful. Sometimes you just have to be quiet and just wait on God. Just trust Him. And you also have to do your due diligence. Men also, because there's a lot of men being killed by crazy women as well. You have to be careful who you let into your life. Stay up and stay safe. Peace and love.